Hello. If you recall last time we talked, or actually I talked and you listened through this video, I was showing you how to take the content from the area over here in underscores. There's a layouts folder that has two CSS style sheets in them. One is called sidebar content, the other content sidebar. And just to remind you what that looks like, if we open the one called sidebar content, it has these styles in it. Let me go ahead and close up this search box so we can see it a little better. It has these styles in it, and if you recall, we copied and pasted those into our style sheet and made some adjustments to them. We added a little margin here, 5% there, and we added a little margin to the sidebar and made it a little less wide. It was originally 25%. And what that resulted in is this page here where we have what's called sidebar content. Over here we have a little space on the side because otherwise this would be going all the way across, and we have a little space here and a little space here. Now, so what we did was we cut and pasted this into from the sidebar content.css file, which is located in the layouts folder. We copied and pasted that into our style sheet. We made some adjustments to the margins here and here, shrank that sidebar a little bit so we'd have a little more space around it. And then we did the same thing with the other file. I asked you to do this on your own. This one's called content sidebar, so this is flipped around. We took and copied and pasted this into the style sheet, and then we took the original area and commented it out by highlighting it and clicking on this little apply comment word balloon here, and then chose the second one down, which is the stars comments. That took that out of commission, and then we were able to take the content sidebar and cut and paste that in. Down here. And make a few changes to that. In fact, they were just sort of the opposite of this. So whereas this is 0, 5%, 0, negative 25, this is 0, negative 25, 0, so this would be the 5%. And then let's see what else we got here. This one is already set up site main, so it's putting the margin on the right hand side for the sidebar. Then over here we have margin left 2% and width 15%. We can highlight, copy those two, come down here and put them here. And now this would be margin right instead of margin left, because what we're doing is we're putting the sidebar on the opposite side of the page. So if we make this the default layout by having this one commented out and putting in our new one here, we can upload that to the website. And we're going to say, it says it's been modified, so we want to save it before we put it up. And then when it asks for dependent files, we say no. And we'll go look at this, hit our refresh button. Now, it's switched, now it's content sidebar, but we're getting this weird thing here where the bulleted list is indented quite a bit, and it looks kind of strange being indented that far over. So we might say to ourselves, well, that looks weird, that's something I want to change. How would we change that? Well, I'm in Google Chrome right now, and if you'll recall, in Chrome, as well as in the latest Firefox, you can click on their little hamburger menu here and come to a section, at least in Chrome it's called More Tools and then Developer Tools. It's something slightly different in Firefox. And you click on that and you get this little window that opens down here, which is all your styles, your HTML styles on the left, your CSS styles on the right. If you aren't using the Firefox or Chrome browser, you could try downloading the Firebug plugin. That will also do something similar. So what you do is you click on your magnifying glass and you scroll over until you find the area that you want to mess with and you click on it. That highlights it over here in the HTML, and then you can come over here and see where the style is on your style sheet. Now, this list right here is called an unordered list. It's a bulleted list of items. And sure enough, it says UL, that's the unordered list. And over here it says that on our style sheet on line 386, that is what is setting the formatting for this. So if we go back to our style sheet in Dreamweaver and we scroll down, we're looking at these line numbers right over here on the left. We go down until we see 386. Actually, it looks like it's 383 here on ours. We see that these are the margins, so it goes top, right, bottom, left. So the left margin is 3 EMs. EMs are a proportional unit of measurement. 1 EM is equal approximately to 1 font size of whatever font size the browser uses as its default. So it's proportional. It gets smaller on mobile phones and larger on desktops. But 3 EMs is way too much. So that's what's making that big gap on the left side of our list. So let's say we reset this to 0 EMs and then upload it, save it, and say no on the dependent files, uploading the dependent files. And then we come here and we hit refresh. And you'll see that now those 3 M's worth of space that was on the left-hand side has disappeared. And now we have a much nicer looking bolded list there. Okay, so this is kind of where we left off last time, where on our style sheet we had a couple of different things. Let me go ahead and in order to find where I was last, I can go back up to the top. If you recall, we added a new section in the last video to this content section. We added 10.4 layouts. And the easiest way to find out where I was just recently is to copy, go ahead and Command-C on a Mac or Control-C, copy 10.4, and then do Edit, Find, and Replace, and just look for 10.4 on this current document, Find All. The first one that it finds is the one that we're on, the top of the page, and the second one is further down the page where we want to go. So if you just double-click on this in the search box, it will take you down the page. So you see now we have 2 layouts that we've copied and pasted from the Layouts folder over here. The first one is currently commented out, and that was the one which was the, let's see, this one that we have now is content and then sidebars. Let's see, let me double check real quick. Content sidebar, that's what we have right now. Okay, so this one right here that's current is the content on the left and the sidebar on the right. This one that we commented out was sidebar on the right, content on the left. Now, this is great that you have these options, but it's not great that you can only use one at a time. So what we want is we want to have it so that we can call in either of these layouts at any time, and even have a third layout which is with no sidebar at all. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. Well, the trick is going to be that we're going to rename these styles according to what they do. And that way they all have unique names and we can call in just those styles for the particular pages that we want. Now in order to make these pages, we're going to have to do something called creating page templates. And we did this a little bit in the beginning class last semester, but I'm going to go ahead and review that with you and show you how you would use it in the context of the underscores theme here. So the way that we make page templates is we open up the default template page for WordPress, and what that is that's a page called page.php. So if we go and we look into our list of files here, we see sure enough page.php. We can double click on it, and this is the default template that is used to create all the pages in WordPress. Now if you look at this template here, you'll see there's some comments up at the top. There is a section here which gets the header. Down here there's a function that gets the footer and the sidebar, and then this central area is what deals with all the middle content. Now if you recall, if we look over here on our style sheet, we've got these styles called content area and site main. Well, if we look over here on our page.php page, you can see that here's where the content area style is called, and here's where the site main area is called. Now, if we rename those here in this page, and then also rename them on the style sheet, and then save this page under a different name, we could then have a new template which is calling in just a specific set of styles. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's see. The first thing we'd want to do is we'd want to go up and we would want to delete any comments up here at the top that we don't want. So what we'll do is we'll take from where it says add package underscores up here to where it says the template for displaying all pages. We'll highlight all this stuff and we'll hit delete. Okay, so we just got rid of all that commentary right there. Now, when you create a new template page, you have to, in the comments, you have to type the words template name and colon. And then you give your page whatever name you want to call it. So let's call this, now instead of calling it content sidebar, that's a little confusing to me. So I like to call things right sidebar or left sidebar. So let's see, once again, if we look at our page, this current format is what we would call a right sidebar. So I'm going to go ahead and call this page right sidebar. Okay, that's going to be what my template's going to be called. Now, when I save this, I'll save it under the name page right sidebar, but this little code up at the top is what's going to tell WordPress what the name of this template is. Now, I have to go ahead and customize this content area and this site main style so that they match up with a customized version of the style over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an abbreviation for right sidebar. I'm going to use RS. So I'm going to come down here to where it says content area and click my mouse in there, add a dash and put RS. So now it's content area with a right sidebar. I'll do the same down here with the site main. I'll put a dash and I'll put RS. Okay, so now we've taken our page.php template, we've renamed it template name page right sidebar, and we've customized the content area to content area RS and the site main area to site main RS. Now we're going to go ahead and save this page under a different name. We're going to call this page dash right dash sidebar. Now you can save this just in the main underscores directory, but what I like to do is make a folder in here, and I would make a new folder and I would call it something like page templates. Now I've already created a page templates folder previous to showing you this video, or recording this video, so I'm just going to make this one called page templates 2, but you go ahead and call yours page templates. I'll make one called page templates 2, and I'll hit create, and I'll save a page right sidebar inside of there. Okay, update links, we'll say no. Okay, now so we've made a page right sidebar.php. Now we have to go over to the style sheet, and these two areas that we changed on the template page, we have to change them here in the style sheet. So the content area, we're going to put a dash in there, call that content area right sidebar. And the site main area, we're going to call that dash right sidebar. And even this site content dash widget area, which brings in the sidebar itself, the widget area, we're going to put the RS on the end of that too. Okay, so now we've got all this cool stuff happening. So we're going to put this up. And that is now the style that is saved up there on the website. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to upload our template to the website so that the website can see this template and then be instructed to use it. So we'll go down here to our page templates 2 folder. Let's refresh this, and we'll look inside our page templates 2, and we see page right sidebar, right? So if I click on this folder and hit the upload button, it will upload it to the server, and you'll see there's this little folder called page templates 2, and inside there is the page right sidebar. Okay, well now if we go back to our website and we're on our home page here, we click edit page, and I'm going to go ahead and close down this developer tools. There's an area here called page attributes, which is probably closed up when you initially open the page. If you click on this disclosure triangle here, it will open. And then under templates, you have the default template, which is the page.php page. But if you click on it now, you've also got something showing up called page right sidebar. That's the one we just made. If you select that and hit update, now when we go visit the page, we should basically see no changes. We should see the page looking the same that it did, which is what we see. content on the left, sidebar on the right. The difference is now that is being created by a specific style here, which is this one here called, you know, content area RS, right sidebar, okay? And it's also using this template page here. It's using this template page, which is calling those specific styles, and it's getting them right off of this area of the style sheet. Okay, so that works out great. Now, to make things a little easier for us, we might want to go in here and add a comment. We can do that by putting in a / and then an asterisk and saying page right sidebar, and then putting in an asterisk and then a /. And now we've put a little comment up at the top of this to tell us that this is going to be our right sidebar, right? Now, we can do the same thing up above that area that has been commented out, which is essentially the left sidebar. So we'll start by copying this comment we just made. We'll go up to the top of this section. We'll paste that in, and we'll change it to be left sidebar. Now then, we want to get rid of the comments that are surrounding this area. So we'll highlight that whole area from the slash asterisk at the bottom to the slash asterisk at the top. And then we'll click this button here on the left side, which is called remove comment. It's the little cartoon word balloon, but it's got an X in the corner. Click on that, and now this is no longer commented out. Now, we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did before. We're going to make a new template, and then we're going to customize these styles so that the new template calls in just these styles. So let's start back with the template. We'll go back to our page right sidebar template, and we'll change it. Now we'll call this page left sidebar template. We'll change these customized styles to LS for left sidebar instead of RS. And then we'll simply save this under a new name. So we'll call this we'll save this as page left sidebar. And once again, we're saving this in the page templates folder. Okay, so now we've got our template saved. Now we can go back to our styles, and we can rename these styles the same way we did with the right sidebar, except we'll call them LS for left sidebar. So it would be that content area, the site main, and the site content widget area. Now notice we're not doing anything with the footer because the footer is fine the way it is. It's just 100% width. Okay, so now we've got that. We can save this, and we can upload it. This is our style sheet. Okay, we can upload our left sidebar template, which will go right into our templates folder, and we'll go out there and look. So we open our page templates, and you can see now the left sidebar and the right sidebar are both there. And now we can go back to our website here. We can click on Edit Page. And this time when we look at the templates folder, we have three choices: the default, the right, and now the left sidebar. We can update that. And then we can view the page, and now we should see the sidebar on the left-hand side. And there it is. Okay, so we've got 2 out of 3 page templates happening, a right sidebar and a left sidebar. And of course, we can apply these to any page we want simply by calling up that template in the page that we make. All we have to do is assign the specific template that we want to it and hit update, and then it will show up with a sidebar on the left or the right. But what if we want a page with no sidebar at all? Okay, that should be fairly straightforward, fairly easy to do, right? We would go back to our style sheet, and we could first make a style by selecting one of these existing styles, including the comment at the top, and we could paste that in underneath, and we could say page no sidebar. Okay, so now that we've pasted the area in from the top and we've renamed it no sidebar, we can customize these styles here so that they will remove the sidebar completely. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to customize the style. We're going to make this say NS for no sidebar, and we'll make it say NS here. I'm going to not do it here, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to do it here, is because this area is the area that brings in the sidebar, and we're not going to need that at all. So we're actually going to take this whole area here for the no sidebar page and get rid of it. Now, this 25% and 5% was when we had a sidebar, and since we don't have that, we're going to get rid of that in the content area. And here, to put a little spacing on the right and left, we're going to leave a 5% margin on either side. So once again, when you have margins, the first number is the top, that's the right, that's the bottom, and that's the left. But if you have just two numbers, the first number represents the top and the bottom, and the second number represents the margin on the right and the left. So we'll put 5% on either side to give us a little margin, and we'll leave the footer alone. Okay, so these are the three styles we need for the no sidebar. Now, we also have to create the template for the no sidebar. I'm doing it a little backwards this way from the way I have done it. But now that I've done this, I can go ahead and save it and upload it for my style sheet. And it really doesn't matter what order you do these in, if you make your styles first or your template, as long as they both get done and that you call the styles properly by their names. So now we'll go back to the template we made before, the page left sidebar. We'll change this to be page no sidebar. Change these two styles to be NS, which is what we call them over there. And then we'll save this template as page no sidebar. And hit save. Now we'll upload this. We'll go back to our website, and we'll have to hit the refresh on the website for it to check and find that third template that we just uploaded so that it can bring it into our list here. And sure enough, there it is, page no sidebar. We hit update to make that the template for the current page. And then we hit view page. And you can see that now we have a page here with the margins on either side, but I'm noticing I made one mistake here. You can see that the sidebar is still actually being brought in. It's just not being brought in at the side. So what did I do wrong? Well, what I did wrong was in this page no sidebar, we still have the function here which is calling the sidebar and getting it. So what we have to do is highlight that, come over here to the comments area, and come down and click the apply PHP comment, which will not only will it comment that out, but it'll also comment out the PHP code and make it defunct. It won't work anymore. So we'll do that. That will take care of our sidebar, and we'll save that, and we'll upload it. And since this has already been applied to the page, this template, but now the template's been updated, you can see the sidebar is still there, but if we hit refresh, then you'll see that now the sidebar is gone. We just have the footer area. This is the content area spanning 100% with the 5% margins on either side, and of course that's our header up there. Okay, so what we learned in this video was how to make page templates, and we made 3 of them, one for no sidebar, one for left, and one for right, or right and left. And we also made changes to our style sheet so that we have in our layout section here, section 10.4, we made a left sidebar section, a right sidebar, and a no sidebar section. And of course, you can do whatever sort of page templates you want to create, you can create and assign code that corresponds to them, save that all, and upload it, and then you'll have some different options for page layouts. Now, so far we haven't messed with the header or the footer at all, and we'll be dealing with those in a subsequent video. But that's all for today, and this is the video for creating page templates.